What is going on, guys? We are here for week 6 of the Porsche Cup Fixed track guide series. This week we are at Donnington Park Grand Prix layout. Very unique style of circuit, old school, not a lot of markers around the track, lots of early turning points because of long radius style corners. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge for people this week, to be honest with you. I think there's either participation will be down or there'll be a lot of guys making little mistakes just from not being able to really maximise their markers so much because the markers are not there to be able to sort of spot and for. So really appreciate everybody that's been tuning into the channel, sending messages, commenting, liking the videos. It's awesome, guys. I really appreciate everybody that's reached out to us and given us feedback and also just said thank you for helping them. So hopefully your racing so far this season's been going well, and let's kick off week 6 in the Porsche Cup at Donnington Park. Let's go. Alright guys, so let's break down the lap. So as you're coming down into turn 1, I sort of line myself up with the green tyre wall, and I place the car heavily over the blue entry of the pit lane, and I'm braking just before the blue line for turn 1. So as you come in, nice big brake pressure, set yourself up in front, straight down, and then sort of follow the trajectory of the pit lane line as you're coming back on, and then sort of line yourself up with the Marshall Tower in front. As soon as you pass that white line, start to turn the car at the corner. Third gear, so 5th back to 3rd. Get the car to rotate in. You want to clip the apex once you get in line at the end of the escape road here. So right here, this is where you want to clip your apex. Get 2 tyres up on the curb to help rotate and start to pick the throttle up. The car's going to slide off the corner out to the edge of the road. Up through the gears to 4th, up to 5th, stay close to this curb and sort of follow the white line down the hill. Once you get past the secondary curb, it's about making sure you turn in at the right point. So I kind of like make sure I'm more to the right so I can open up this corner a little bit more, because I feel like if I don't lift around that sort of white line and follow that white line, my setup for this corner is horrible. And then as I go down the hill and into the next braking zone, which is quite crucial to get back up the hill, you're offline and it just makes the whole thing worse. So I'd rather sacrifice a little tiny bit in the mid corner here to really open up this part of the corner and carry the speed down the hill and set myself up nicely for the braking zone. So I'm finding myself turning in from about this point here. On the right hand side, 5th gear, I get over the curb and I organise the car in a nice straight trajectory. So I aim for the the corner board right here, and I start braking just past this corner board on my left-hand side here. So it's about a car length past. So at about this point here, I start to brake the car, and I aim for the corner board. So 5th gear, back to 3rd gear. Now, as I come down into the corner, I turn the car at the corner aggressively early here. So about 5 blue squares from the end, so about this point here, I'm starting to turn the car at the corner. I want to rotate the car in 3rd gear. And as soon as I get that car 2 wheels over the apex, I'm on the throttle, super aggressive, up here, use all the escape curb, and then I set myself up in the middle, sort of in line with the N and the G on Donnington. And then from this point, I want to make sure that I clip this curb here, and I put 2 tyres over it, but only by half a foot. Let the car track out to the right-hand side of the circuit. And then I turn in once I just pass the end of the curb at the end of the escape road. That's when I start to turn the car at the corner. Turn the car at the corner, get the car nice and straight, aim for the corner board again, diagonal the car in, brake soon as you get to this corner board again. Back to 3rd gear, follow this trajectory into the corner. Once you get to about 2/3 track, so about this point here, I start to rotate the car at the corner. So I turn the car quite early again, get the car up on the curb, but I sort of clip it just in line with the green tyre wall. So you'll see that we're quite far around the corner by this point when I actually clip the apex. So that from then I can actually carry a lot more speed on the exit of the corner. Use all the escape curb. Run it up towards the hill. Now this one's tricky because there is no marker up here. So I'm braking at about this point here. So it's just before the peak crest of the hill I'm braking. And then I'm 4th gear and I just knock it back 1 gear to 3rd. I turn in at this point here. So about 6 blue squares from the end roughly. So turn in quite early. Get 2 tyres completely over the curb and half over the sand. The car's going to track out. I sort of inline it with that orange building just there. I get to sort of 2/3 track, and then as soon as I get to the end of the curb, I'm rotating the car completely back at the corner. So I can clip the 2nd apex, which is right here. Clip it right near the end of the curb. In line with the DRS board, and let the car carry all that momentum out of the corner. Up to 4th gear, up to 5th gear. Alright, so I'm looking for this 2nd brake board here. This is where I start to brake the car in a nice straight line. From this point here, I want to go 5th gear, back to 3rd. Now, the trick with this one is, you want to make sure you're carrying all the speed on the exit, not the entry. So, back to 3rd. Turn in at the brake board, and as you turn the car at the corner, you want to make sure 2 tyres are over the back of the curb and nearly touching these little bollards. So you'll see from this, I've how straight I can then run the car. So from this point here, I run the car straight across the track, and it's about flowing the car through this point until you line up with them tyres. See how there's a colour change in the tyre wall? That is where you need to be. Once you're in line with that, that's where you need to be on the throttle, full noise, carry all the speed out, let the car track right to the edge of the road, up through all the gears. You'll get to 5th gear, and then we're looking for the flag marshal stand. So as you come up, you're looking for this point right here. Once we get to this point, then you're braking. So you're using the 27 pit marshal, not pit marshal, but your flag stand. That's your brake marker for the last corner. 5th gear, I'm using 1st gear here just to get the car to rotate a little bit better. You can use 2nd, but I just find the car tends to have a little bit too much understeer on entry into the corner. So that 1st gear just helps the car rotate, and then a short shift to 2nd on the exit. So come down here, use all the track on entry. I turn in quite late here actually, so I'm turning in 3 blue squares from the end. So right now, I turn the car at the corner, I miss the apex completely, and you'll see that I'm trying to line the apex up so that I hit it when I'm in line with the first blue building. That's where I want to clip the apex. From that point there, I can square the corner up, punch into second nice and early, let the car track to the edge of the road, run it up to the final corner, up to fourth gear. I'm braking just past the white line on the curb, so about this point here is where I'm braking the car. Nice big brake pressure. I sort of keep the car in line with the end of the catch fence up there. And as I come to the end of the curb, I start to turn the car at the corner. So from this point here, so it's about a car length past the curb. I turn the car at the corner. Only the second gear in this corner. Turn the car in. I sort of don't want to hit the apex until halfway through, so about this point here. And then I sort of try and get the car, so it'll roll a little tiny bit. And then once I'm like directly in line with the flag marshal, I start to pick the throttle up, carry all that momentum out, use all the edge of the track. And there you go, guys. That is your track guide for the Porsche Cup at Donnington Park. I hope you have a good week of racing. I hope this has helped you, and we will see you next week for week 7. Thanks, guys.